Welcome back to episode 96 of White Claw Wednesdays.
Oh, yeah.
We're back in the office. We actually pre got our claws this time, so.
Oh, yeah. Here we are. Okay, cheers it up. Ryan, I like that MTV shirt.
Cheers, brother.
Oh.
Thanks, man. This is a classic shirt. It's a little tight. Oh, I got this from Kohl's for I think it was like $5 or something like
Kohl's. Hell yeah.
Dude, we went to Kohl's. Or no, it was the Gap. It was the Gap. This was when we went to Seattle.
Yeah.
And they had all these shirts out, and they were $5 each. And there was a NASA shirt, and I was like, "Oh, are you kidding me? Like a NASA shirt for $5?"
Just a big old circle NASA
just a
symbol.
straight circle with NASA on it. And I was like, "Oh, sold." So I grab it, and then that's the only thing I was getting. Don't worry, I'll fix it. That was the only thing I was getting.
Yeah.
And then we get to the counter, and they're like, "Oh no, that one's 15." And I'm like, "What?"
50.
They literally have a sign saying $5 everywhere.
Yeah. Bummer. Man, speaking about Gap, Kanye West discovered. Well, he kind of helped discover Travis Scott, and he kind of was him and T.I. were sort of
Gap, huh?
Yeah, I'm connecting this to Gap because Yeezy, Kanye has designed clothes for Gap, and he not only is good at I guess coming up with clothing designs, but he's good with picking out rapper talent, because him and T.I. were two of the biggest reasons that Travis was able to excel as an artist and explode into stardom.
Yeah, but I'm hearing you. Okay, T.I. Yep. What about it?
And his star has reached a point of now his concerts are causing
no return.
Exactly, his concerts are causing death and
point
injury.
Of no return, man.
And it's that year off of concerts, COVID, with concerts getting canceled.
He didn't do anything, did he?
Well, yeah, no, he didn't. But I'm saying that was, I think, part of there was a big old recipe for that chaos to happen.
Well, first give a little intro on what happened, just in case people don't know.
Well, Travis Scott hosts an AstroWorld festival, and he started it after he released his album AstroWorld in 2018, and he has a festival in Houston. It's a 2-day music festival that he performs at himself, and he gets all of his musical buddies to perform at. And he was bringing it back in 2021 since it was canceled for 2020 because of COVID. So he's performing the first night of it's a 2-day festival, Friday, Saturday. He's performing the first night. He's the closer on Friday night. And when he got on stage, apparently the general energy was, I got to get to the front. And that was what everybody's mind was in. And everybody kind of just went crazy and just, started people were crushed and
push and
injured,
shove,
just try to get, and it was just too many people, and it
was a lot of things.
A lot of things, and I've read stories that people struggling to breathe and passing out and coming in and out of consciousness, and people getting unconscious people getting pulled over the rails, and security dropping them on their heads,
being crowd surfed away.
Yeah, and you have a little kid. There's like a 9-year-old who's in the hospital with like brain swelling and like a damaged lung or something like that. And it's crazy because I've gone to 6 Travis Scott shows, and every single one of them always had the vibe of, you got to be strong to survive. You got to survive the rage. But it was never. I never actually thought I was gonna die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there were people. I remember in every show that I went to, there were people who
asking to leave the crowd,
passing out. We would pull people over and give them to security because they were freaking out. They couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of that, but I never felt. And maybe it's as a person who's over 6 feet tall, so the general
you've got airflow.
I got airflow,
and
a lot of people don't have airflow, and the airflow is huge. And I just to think of the fact that the last time I saw him was February of 2019.
Yeah.
So you fast forward over 2.5 years from that, and his star has grown so immense. He's just so famous now.
He's so big, yeah.
That it actually became survival. In that, there you have all these contributing factors over almost the 3-year span from when I saw him to when this tragedy happened, and in those almost 3 years, he didn't even. This is what's crazy. He didn't even release an album.
Right.
But he
started dating Kylie Jenner, right?
Well, no, not necessarily. He had already had a kid with her, but he continued to be, baby daddy for Kylie Jenner, and then he gets her pregnant again. But that's not even really that. Honestly, I'm not.
What
even,
is it? Why did he get so big then?
I'm not gonna put any blame on the Jenners.
Yeah.
Or Kardashians.
No. Of course.
In terms of,
I wouldn't either.
In terms of like what like this show meant. The fans he gained from being with Kylie, I don't think those fans were necessarily involved in what took place.
No. Of course.
What I'm saying contributed to star power is in that almost 3-year span where he didn't drop an album after AstroWorld was he was doing things like the McDonald's meal, and he was doing things like Fortnite skins and Fortnite dances, and also he did an entire Fortnite concert.
Yeah.
Where because it was like COVID.
Which was awesome, too.
I know I watched it. I mean, I didn't download Fortnite for it, but I just watched like the 30-minute video that was posted on YouTube, and I was like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But when you... And then the crazy thing about that McDonald's commercial is that it featured his action figure. Because ever since his first album, he's had this action figure that he made. And the action figure's on the cover of his first album, and the action figure, you can buy it, and it's thousands of dollars, blah, blah, blah. But in this McDonald's advertisement... that premiered, you have the little animated action figure Travis Scott jumping around and like showing you all the stuff that's in his meal.
Right.
And that in itself, I can see as
it's not actually him, right? It's just the action figure.
Yeah, it's the action figure, but it's the action figure designed like him, and it's the same action figure that's in all his promo and all his material and stuff. And it's just like another little subliminal advertising thing to me where you get kids from both the McDonald's side and the Fortnite side becoming Travis Scott fans because they see this cool little action figure with their favorite fast food, and then they see this awesome concert on their favorite video game with all these cool skins and dance moves and stuff.
Right.
So you add in all these young fans that are now 13 and under, aka aren't going to be getting that airspace. Going to be getting crushed. And that's why you have you have kids dying. I think there was a 14-year-old kid who died.
Yeah, lots of ninth graders.
Like a freshman baseball player. Yeah, and then there's the 9-year-old I told you who's suffering with brain damage right now. And so it was just a bad recipe for a tragedy because he's always had that survive the rage. It's always been that. But you can't have that when you've gotten that big. And unfortunately, I don't know if he'll ever perform again because I don't know if he ever can because he got too big to where his just whole MO just became dangerous.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of things that led up to it. Obviously the casualties being young was exactly that. Probably them not being experienced at concerts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I can totally imagine having a ninth grader, child, and then being like, oh, I'm gonna go to a concert with some friends, and maybe one of them's a junior or something like that. That's totally normal. I would, totally see that happening.
Yeah, exactly.
I think just being inexperienced, not only with concerts, as far as the person, but also as far as Travis Scott as well. He likes to go hard, and I've only seen him. Have I seen him twice? No, I've seen him one time.
No,
definitely.
You've seen him twice.
I have seen him twice.
Snow Globe and then Hard Summer.
Okay. So definitely those times I could tell how hard he wanted to go, although the crowds weren't really with him like that.
Yeah, those.
We were, but
we were, yeah. But that's what's funny. You saw him at
Hard Summer and Snow Globe.
Yeah, you saw him in 2 EDM settings.
Yeah,
which is when you have the least, survive the rage kind of crowd with Travis because there's more EDM fans than rap fans. So
I think I wanted to ask you this because a lot of people are trying to put blame on a certain party in this whole scenario, and I don't know. Who do you blame for this situation? Is it on Travis just 100% solely, Is it on some of the people that went there? Is it on the organizers, of the event? I mean, what do you think? As someone who's been to events, as someone who's literally camped and probably drank like one bottle of water over like 8 hours just to be, front and center.
Yeah, the first time I saw him, I was front and center and on the rail, like my waist pushing up against the metal rail. Yeah. And I even remember the next day, I had bruises all along my waist. Mm-hmm. And those were probably among the people who died and got hurt the worst were the people in the very front.
Oh yeah.
So in terms of blame, it's this might sound, I don't know. Okay, I'll be honest. I don't know if you can blame anybody. Like
I think you can blame everyone. That's what I think.
Okay, you can blame everyone, and then that way you blame no one. I mean, is blaming everyone blaming no one? But think about it like this: is it
no?
What's the difference between this and an earthquake?
Well, an earthquake we can't predict.
Yeah.
Versus. But the amount of tickets being sold, we can predict how many people are going to be at an event.
That's true. That is very true. And it's okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
Now people would say, "Oh, people rush the gates." Like, I don't think that many people rush the gates. And like, even if they did, there's no way that like.
Okay, here's the thing.
If you have a venue,
if they sold the amount of tickets that they had, and they knew that was the amount of people they could safely have in the venue, and that's the amount of people, that's the amount of tickets they sold,
right?
And if that's the way it is, if it's that crystal clear, just that simple. Mm-hmm. And I mean, as time goes on with the cases and the lawsuits and all that stuff, we're going to get more and more details on if that is the case.
I'm interested to hear, definitely. Yeah.
So if that is the case, then I do think you can't really blame anyone, because like an earthquake, it's you don't know when the biggest one's coming. Mm-hmm. I hindsight's 2020. I couldn't have come up with this whole theory on Fortnite and McDonald's making Travis Scott too big of a star for his sort of concert level.
Yeah,
like that's something we don't know is a thing until tragedy strikes, and tragedy struck, and until there's more details on people were sneaking in, or fake tickets were being sold, or they sold more than they should have because Travis said, fuck it, let's fill it up.
Well,
We're real ragers. You know what I mean?
What
so
I
it's
know.
just like like right now at this moment, just with the knowing, with like I said, the base scenario. If they sold the amount of tickets that they could safely keep in there, then I don't think you can really blame anybody.
I think it really revolves around the relationship between Live Nation, which is the event planning company, and Travis and his team. Like, who was the one pushing for more tickets? Because at the last Astrofest, this is just from me looking on Reddit and reading, at the last Astrofest, there was 50,000 tickets sold. 50,000. At this one, there was 100,000.
Okay, see right there. See,
that's a big issue, right?
Okay. Let's just pump the brakes here. I'm walking back my last statement. Same episode, I made said statement. Okay,
and that's totally okay.
That's okay, but I am walking back
totally
that
fine.
statement out. I did not know about this 50,000 to 100,000 numbers.
Same venue.
Okay, so Ryan, I can give you a new take. Whoever came up with that genius idea to double the fucking number, they're the ones to blame.
That's what I'm thinking.
They're the ones with the most blood on their hands. And wow,
I mean, personally,
because if I'm in that meeting where it's like, okay, we sold 50,000 tickets, we're selling 100,000 tickets, my hand's shooting up in the fucking air and saying, this dude is like the biggest dude on Fortnite and started the whole fast food celebrity combo meal trend. No, we cannot double his ticket sales. Right. Okay, that is oh my.
And
Jesus.
It's like it's a concert for. I mean, they're supporting acts and stuff, but like it's for Travis Scott, which means that
his festival.
If you sell 100,000 tickets, you could expect there to be 100,000 people at one stage.
Yes, exactly, dude. It's the AstroWorld Festival. It's his festival. Right. Like everything that you see, like all like the things that all the stages, and the blow ups and the amazing things to look at as you're walking around. Yeah. It's all Travis Scott brand. Yeah. It's all his thing. It's in Houston. You got people driving. I mean, hell, when he announced the first one, Tristan and I debated driving to Houston to go to it.
Yeah.
So you have people road trip into Houston. You got people in
tickets everywhere.
But everybody is going for Travis Scott at the end of the night.
Right.
That's why people are going.
And that's what they're the most hyped for. They've been planning
that's
for
what they're going
it.
to lose their fucking minds for. That's what they're saving their energy for. That's what they want to be towards the front for.
So
doubling the tickets. Wow.
How much blame are you putting on Travis for
if
being irresponsible in thinking that 100,000 people could rage without anyone getting hurt?
Now
or does he just not even care at that point? You signed up for the ticket. I mean, obviously, I don't. Okay, let me just preface this.
If Travis is in that meeting when the 100,000 number is being decided, if he's sitting around, if it's whether it's his idea,
he has to be in the conversation.
Whether it's his idea or not, if he's in the room when that idea is confirmed, he's just as everybody in that room when that idea is locked in. Yeah, that's the guilty room right there.
Yeah, I agree. But like, if Travis Scott is like, oh, I want a big concert, I want huge, like who? No shit. Like what artist doesn't want to have a huge concert? But then if Live Nation is like, oh yeah, we can totally do that. I don't know. Is it on Live Nation at that point? Because they're like, yeah, we can totally do that. We can totally support this situation. When like they were not prepared. Obviously, they were not prepared.
No.
I mean, no. In terms of, geez, I don't even know like the logistics of having a concert, but you have, guardrails and you have these things that sort of like, maneuver people around, and you got to make sure the stage is wide enough so everyone can see, and you have to make sure that there's sections,
horrible,
and water and security and passageways for, security, and I just don't think it was there. And I don't think that this would have happened at any other artist. I don't think so. I think it has to be his vibe of everyone go crazy, but he's playing this like, to your point about the whole Fortnite and to the McDonald's thing, it's like he's playing this sort of two-faced game where like he's trying to be this public figure and like, gain supporters from like the younger population. And then at his concerts, he's like, everyone go hard, get shit-faced, just be crazy.
Yeah,
and it's like, true. You're not telling that to kids, Like, if he thought there was a 9-year-old out there getting suffocated, he obviously wouldn't have, kept going. But, like...
Exactly. Like, he can't... I mean, this is why he can't perform anymore. Because...
But, like, you got to put two and two together.
He chose to stop releasing music every year and to start making money in other avenues, and that's just it. Yeah, it leads to the death of kids. That's what it's done. Because
it's terrible.
And Mike,
did we ever go to a concert?
50,000 to 100,000 number.
I never went to a concert.
We went to our first concerts when we were 18.
18.
And
okay.
Actually, we went to that. Well, no, that was when I was 17. I think 17, 18. Yeah, but I mean, we were in the high teens. We were never low teens. But I mean,
right.
But either way, I mean, kids go to concerts all the time. Like that's not
normal.
Yeah. But man, that 50,000, 100,000 number, that's fucking ridiculous.
I mean, that
Holy
right there.
Shit, like if they had, oh my, like to think about the fact that the AstroWorld before festival, before had 50,000 tickets sold. I know for a fact, I can just, from seeing him enough times, I know the exact sort of energy that was going on when he came on stage. It was the same thing that I experienced in the shows that were specifically for Travis Scott, and the fact that they doubled that number of, oh my God, that is just, if they had just, I mean, obviously this doesn't happen, but if they had any sort of Travis Scott fan who had show experience sitting in that meeting when they tried to do that whole double ticket number, any logical fan would be like, no, it's fucking, it's intense as fuck when it's 50,000 tickets sold and you're about to double that number. That's going to make it into a horror show, which is what it was from all the stories of people just screaming for their lives and suffocating and basically just drowning in a sea of people.
And I've never been like in a mosh before.
Yeah.
But this doesn't even sound like a mosh. It almost sounds like you're literally just at the whim of like bodies just shifting.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like
Yeah.
you can't control where you're going. You're just like shifting.
I've been in shows like that. And
that is so scary, man.
It's like when I saw Lil
And
Pump.
I don't even get claustrophobic. Like I don't.
When I saw Lil Pump,
Yeah.
I had no control over my body. Like the entire, I shit you not, right? The entire fucking crowd at Lil Pump was one whole mosh pit, and I was just like this, just moving among. I'm just, and the only reason why I wasn't just suffering was because my head is above everybody else.
Yeah.
And I'm just moving in the sea of
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
I'm looking at Dominic, guest of the show.
Yeah.
And he's under 6 feet, and his face is redder than.
Oh yeah, I think you told me about this.
Yeah, I
sometime.
told me. It's just, but this is like. But that was not a 50,000. Like that was not a lot of people. But it was it was Lil Pump's
compact,
energy. Like Lil Pump has similar.
It's probably a smaller stage too.
Smaller
so you have to
stage,
be tighter.
exactly.
Yeah.
And Lil Pump, kind of copied a little bit with the whole go crazy Travis energy, like a lot of artists have. So he created that same mosh energy. But like it's just a bad.
So now imagine like 100,000 people, and it's like you want to get out
mixed in with like the biggest artist.
Yeah.
Arguably right
music
now.
playing, people jumping. This is what I do if I'm in that situation.
Yeah.
I'm getting person to my left shoulder, person to my right shoulder, and then they're getting the same on me. So if I like lose my balance, I can lean on them.
Mm-hmm.
If they lose their balance, I can lean on them, or they can lean on me.
I was thinking of it. It had to have felt like you were almost swimming in. I mean, like I said, swimming in people. That's the feeling that you get when it's just when the crowd is too intense and there's too many people.
Yeah.
You get the swim, but the swim turned into a drowning.
Yeah.
Because people, I'm imagining we're just like trying to like climb over each other in a way.
Yeah.
At one point,
Dude, I remember when I think we were at Snow Globe. I don't even think it was like a big concert or anything. And we were like, let's get out of here. Like it's too uncomfortable right now.
No, that was for Khalid. Khalid? Khalid? Is that how you say it? I don't know. But the guy who does the, Young, Dumb, and Broke song.
Yeah.
We were trying to enjoy his show. Like, I was pretty much just waiting for Young, Dumb, and Broke. And then I'm like, this is fucking terrible. Like, I'm so squished right now. So we just kind of, weaseled our way out of it.
But imagine being that squished, probably twice as squished as we were.
Twice as squished.
And then
and we were watching a mellow artist.
Yeah. And then not being able to like get out.
Yeah.
Like it's that compact that shifting
out.
bodies around. Like
you'd actually have to start. I bet there were people.
You'd have to convince everyone like I'm trying to get out.
Yeah.
You can take the space in front of me. And even like the slightest shove to where like you fall could just start like this domino effect. It's like.
And the sad thing about it is that there were probably people, well, not probably, but there were definitely people where the whole survival instinct kicked in.
Oh yeah.
And there were probably people, making way for themselves, and they weren't really worrying about.
Oh yeah.
And that's what's scary because
especially if you're on drugs.
Exactly.
You're dating someone. Yeah. They're like, I need to get out of here.
Yeah, and you want to like protect them. You just go into this protector mode.
Yeah.
Or you're like a 300-pound football player,
and you don't give a shit.
Who goes to school in Houston, and like you're at the show, and then and you don't even see like a 10-year-old kid who's right in front of you as you're like. There's just so many.
Well, let's just talk about that kid for a sec.
No, I'm just saying there's just so many bad scenarios in terms of because you created Travis. You can't rap about the rapper stuff and then become the biggest figure in the most popular kid game there is, and then become a figure in the most popular kid fast food franchise there is. That's the worst combination there is.
To have a kid's meal, like to have a kid's toy. Yeah, you can't do it.
It's like
I agree. You can't have that same vibe at the concerts. It's like trying to be Taylor Swift and Travis Scott. It's like you can't do it.
You can't attract all ages and then have the whole survive the rage energy at your concert.
Exactly.
And that's why it was is one of those things where it was just gonna God.
I mean, I feel bad because I don't think that he thought people were dying.
No, I don't think he did either.
Definitely. I mean, there's videos of literally like him singing and like people being carried.
He played the
like,
whole
crowd
set.
Serving. Yeah.
He did the whole Drake came out. He brought Drake. Like he did the whole set.
Well, I don't know if you've seen the video, but like the ambulance trying to get through.
Yeah, it's in the middle.
Him, I think he's doing like Mafia or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not a good look.
No.
I don't know what to say about it. I don't know.
Well, all I can say is, I mean, rest in peace to the ones we lost, and
of course,
and thoughts and hopes go to the ones that are injured, which is
course.
over 300, I've heard.
Of course. I don't know what to say about him. Like I don't think that he knew people were dying. I don't think he did.
No, I don't think he did either.
But
we've already
already
stamped the point of who's ever in that room.
Yeah.
When they decide let's sell double the tickets.
Yeah.
Those people should be at fault.
But also the parents as well of these kids, I think, have some sort to blame in this scenario. Like that 9-year-old.
I mean,
what are we doing? Why do you have a kid in like a crowd? Like, what are you doing?
Ryan, I don't know if you understand how big Fortnite is. I
mean,
it is.
Okay, great. Go to the concert, but don't be in the crowd like that.
Yeah.
That's it's dangerous. It is literally dangerous.
I agree with you, but it's one of those things where when you have 100,000 tickets sold and you want to see Travis, I think any spot where you're seeing Travis or hearing Travis is a danger zone at that point. You know?
I don't know, man.
Because
you're right. I don't know if I've ever been in a crowd of 100,000.
He can only perform on one stage. Okay.
Right.
So his volume of his speakers and his view of his body on the stage and the screens around him can only be seen for so long of a distance. So if you're there to see Travis, you're gonna be in the danger zone in that scenario pretty much no matter what. So
what
it's
do you like?
So even imagine a parent thinking like, okay, this is my kid's favorite thing about Fortnite. I'm taking him to the concert for his birthday.
Totally, I see it happening.
And they're thinking in their mind, oh, we can easily like chill on the outskirts of the area and just be like, oh, enjoy the show. And then when it comes time, it's like the outskirts are so far back that they can't even see the stage. So they're like, I guess we got to get in a little more. And then they get in a little more, and then
and then
it goes. It
and
just
then
10
minutes hits, and there's a bunch of people behind them. 5 minutes hits, then
more
the pushing
people
starts.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, okay,
we can't. And then
we'll stick it out. We'll see what's going on.
And they're stuck, and it's just bad.
I can see how it. I can see, but I mean, it's a tragic scenario.
Because those parents don't understand what Travis Scott shows are. Because even their kids don't know.
Yeah.
Because their kids just got into them, and their kids got into them in a point where there weren't any live shows.
Yeah.
So this is all new.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they didn't have consultants like, me to tell them probably shouldn't do that.
Fan consultants. Yeah, honestly, it might be a
exactly.
new
Fan consultants might be a new thing,
Because God knows we need it. Jeez.
Yeah, and I just
I'm putting most of the blame on Live Nation. I think that's most of the blame goes on them. Secondary is whoever's in that room, which is definitely them.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely them. Yeah.
Like, come on. Don't host an event if you're not prepared,
Yes. Yeah, I mean, man.
So, changing the subject here.
Yeah, what's up?
Dune, man.
Did you watch it?
I watched it.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you think?
All right. First of all, I just want to say that really disappointed. Second of all, I want to say
that's awesome.
That I really enjoyed my time watching it.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I kind of feel the same way because I fell asleep, so that was disappointing.
Okay, never mind.
Well, I fell asleep I made it through I think like the first hour and a half or something, but then I fell asleep in like the last bit. So, but I felt like that was the disappointing part. But when I was watching, I was like, well, this looks cool.
Yeah, I know it was awesome. I mean, it was definitely awesome, dude. Okay, you know how last week I was telling you about the Force? Like I was seeing the Forced videos. Mm-hmm. It's them when they put on their suit, their little armor suit, and they start battling. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Okay, the little blue power or whatever. Yeah, the blue. Yeah. Anyways, I thought it was a cool movie, honestly. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed watching it, but I'm really disappointed in like just it wasn't even like a cliffhanger ending.
No.
And
it was just like you gotta like watch the next movie. Ending.
It's just like,
it was just like a hey.
Okay, like this was the plan all along. Nothing is, there's not like a hook. I mean, I want to watch the second one, definitely. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, Zendaya had like
barely in it.
10 lines, and she was in 50% of the trailer.
Advertising.
It's like literally every single scene where she's turning her head and looking at the camera is in the trailer. It's like that's it.
Because there was barely anything.
And there was maybe a cut where like she's standing behind Paul, the main character, and they have like 5 lines together or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like, what, you're gonna advertise this like that?
They're gonna do that, Ryan. You know they are. Ryan, these trailer companies they're a different animal from the actual, creative mind behind the movie that you're
terrible,
watching.
Man, terrible. They made it seem like
trailer lies have become a new thing. Like they've become the new thing, the new normal.
It's like you're
don't trust trailers anymore.
You're painting an entirely different picture of the film.
Trailers are just bad ideas in general nowadays because they either give away like the whole movie, or they show you shots that aren't in the movie, or they make it seem like one character's way bigger than they are. Like they either spoil the movie or they lie to you, which is pretty tough, But
so I was really disappointed in that, I also thought that it was just kind of like, I don't know.
Didn't it feel like so much exposition? Like, oh my
It was
God.
a lot of...
Like so much
Is
explaining.
that lead up?
No,
Yeah.
Exposition is just explaining everything that's happening so you understand what's going on.
Okay, that's what I was about to say. Yeah. I was like, it's like they threw you into it. And I mean, keep in mind, I don't follow Dune. I did not try at all. I was just like, okay, whatever's happens, happens. But... So I feel like it was needed, but it was a lot.
I was kind of comparing it to Star Wars the whole time in the sense where I kept thinking about the very first Star Wars from 1977 and how first time I watched it, I don't feel like that movie has like a ton of exposition. I feel like it's so it immediately builds this world without having to explain it all in long drawn out dialogue scenes.
Yeah.
It just it feels like the story you're following is simple enough that you just don't need explanation for the world around it. It's just a beautiful thing. And with Dune, I felt like there was just it had the beautiful thing going for it.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like the story was simple enough to just, get going. I felt like there were so many details and so many things to explain. And I think that's because it's based on a science fiction book that, it's the tough thing from translating book to screen is that what do you leave out? What do you include?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It was a lot of explaining. It did take a little while for things to get going, and then once they got going, it was like immediately shit was crashing down, and it just changed completely. So I mean, it's a roller coaster. I mean, well, it is a roller coaster. It's like the slow build. And then you're going and you're going. It's like, I didn't know what to think about it. I don't want to spoil too much, but like they get onto the planet that they're trying to harvest. And then maybe like it's 20, 30 minutes later in the movie. And it's probably like 20 minutes later in the movie. An enemy invades and shit goes haywire. It's like, okay, I don't know. To me, it was just like, where's this going? Like, where are we going to be for a long time? And I also didn't quite understand because Paul is supposed to be like this, like the guy in the story. And I don't want to spoil anything, but the guy, like prophecy guy type deal. And yet he has to be, and one of the things that they said under like the native tongue there was like, oh, the prophecy like could be possibly true because you already know our ways, that type of vibe. But then he was like educating himself on it beforehand, like he was watching hologram stuff.
Yeah, he was learning about him.
So I'm like, was he not just like, did it just start now, or like did he have, you get what I'm saying? To me that didn't make sense.
You were saying
I don't want to pick apart the story.
You were saying why would they make the point of being like, oh, you just know our ways. You're natural.
No, I dig that part.
You dig that part, but
it just doesn't make sense with him.
You don't see why you get that when you got before that. You got him actually studying and trying to learn about them.
Like he didn't know anything.
Like why would you call him a natural when you just showed him learning about the people? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I
don't know.
Maybe it's supposed to be like, oh, he's drawn to him, so he like learns about him.
That could be.
Yeah. But yeah, that
could also be like
the shot in that movie though when Paul does that pose with the dagger that's in the trailer, and he's got the blue eyes. It's like in the vision. He has like a vision.
I can't think of that shot.
Yeah,
Is it not in the movie?
No, it's in the movie.
Oh.
It's when he's having a vision of why he's like connected to these people, and he's having a vision of the future war that's going to happen in part 2.
Yeah.
And it's showing him in that like metal costume with like the visor that pops up, and there's something about that shot that looked really. I mean, it in the trailer it looks really fake to me, but in the movie when it like comes in the dream sequence and stuff, it works more for me. But that. That dream sequence felt like, just like, teasing for the next movie,
It was like a teaser trailer.
Yeah, like, here's the battle that part 2 is going to be about.
I see a war.
Yeah, exactly. I see a war coming to theaters in 2023.
IMAX.
IMAX 3D.
No, honestly, I mean, it was a dope movie, to be honest. I would totally recommend it. I would.
Wouldn't that be so fucking funny, though? Like, you get to, like, a scene in a movie where, like, you like, whisper to the person you're watching with, okay, here comes the teaser for the next movie. And it literally is that. It's like, coming in 2023.
It's like a completely different narrator. Just an interlude.
Oh, man, that would be good.
That would be funny.
That would actually be a really good little thing for Deadpool to do in the next movie. I'm surprised Deadpool. Yeah. I'm surprised Deadpool hasn't done that in either of its 2 movies. Is tease the next. Well, actually, they did do that.
It'll probably be a cinema sin for Dune and Quiche or whatever that YouTube channel is where they do the little animated skits.
Oh yeah, how it should have ended.
Yeah. They'll probably do one like that.
Yeah, true that.
Oh man, what else about Dune? I don't know. They had me thinking in the trailer that Zendaya, I don't even know her character. That's how little she was in the movie. Mm-hmm. They had me thinking that she was like traveling with him all over. And
I also got that vibe.
Totally not at all. Not. It's a completely different person, but they have these suits on, so you think,
they're together.
Like they just show a scene with him and Zendaya,
or
and
you
they're
see
traveling.
like a screenshot of the 2 of them standing together in matching suits, and they're like, they're moving.
Yes,
together,
exactly.
But no,
toxic.
Not that at all.
Toxic.
Dude. It's just like in Infinity War when they showed the Hulk running in Wakanda. Remember when the force field's down and then in the movie completely
not even
a lie in the movie it's freaking Bruce Banner fighting in the Hulkbuster armor. And it's just like, oh god, that is to me the biggest. Oh, and then the other one, Spider-Man Homecoming. The trailers for Spider-Man Homecoming had Iron Man flying through New York City with Spider-Man swinging next to him. The shot was never in the movie. Okay. Yeah.
That
one. That
might
also
be the pinnacle right there.
That one was.
That's effed up.
That's effed up, especially since Tony Stark's dead now. Like.
Right.
God, man.
And just the swinging is so iconic.
Yeah.
And just to have a
next
scene
to Iron Man
like that. Oh man. And the relationship they have. Wow.
Not in the movie. Did you know about that one?
I didn't.
All right.
I don't know if I'm gonna sleep tonight.
All right. Let's cut on that then.
Cool. All right, brother.
96 coming to a close.
Cheers up.
Thanks for listening, subscribing. We love y'all. Peace.
Peace out.